Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a really interesting piece of communication coming out of Zimbabwe. It's from the ruling party, ZANU PF.
That's right. It focuses specifically on how they see the intersection of, well, youth, the media, and what they term national development.
Exactly. This deep dive is based on an excerpt called ZANU PF, Youth, Media, and National Development.
And our goal here, really, is to unpack how this particular source frames the role young people and digital media play in pushing the party's agenda forward.
What does it tell us about their communication strategy?
Precisely. What can we learn about how they build and, maybe more importantly, spread their narrative?
Okay, so let's start with how the document frames young people. It highlights what it actually calls a remarkable attribute of ZANU PF.
Which is
its ability to empower young people in national development, specifically now, in the digital era.
Right, and it says young patriots are the key players here.
Yeah, they're positioned as the ones communicating the party's agenda, globally even, and telling Zimbabwe's transformation story.
And what's really revealing, I think, is how it talks about these youth-led news desks. They're called the actual heartbeat of what the source labels revolutionary communication.
Revolutionary communication, that's strong language.
It is. And it suggests this isn't just, standard PR. It feels like a very deliberate, strategic effort to channel youth engagement into a specific party-aligned narrative.
Essential for getting their message out and documenting what they see as developmental milestones.
Exactly.
And it gets even more specific, naming names. It celebrates two individuals, Tino Chibage and Mukungunugwa.
Right, and they're painted as this relentless force behind one particular desk, the ZANU PF Midlands news desk.
Their job basically is capturing President Mnangagwa's, quote, dedication and hard work. So acting as, custodians of the party's image.
Custodians, and they're held up as a model, aren't they? Mentored by a minister, Owen Incube, who's also known as Touch Bummer.
Yeah, the document presents their department as something to emulate. The author even says they personally rely on their daily updates, praising their performance.
And there's that direct link to the president's call to action. It notes they answered to the president's clarion call, which was,
Endaipa social media ipapo munavarakasha.
Which, translates roughly to go forth on social media and crush them. So their digital work is framed as following a direct presidential command.
Wow. So through this Midlands news desk, the source flat out states that media is a, quote, powerful tool for mobilizing the masses, spreading the Revolutionary Party's ideology, and fostering unity.
It really hammers home the strategic weight ZANU PF gives these digital efforts. It's not just incidental.
Definitely not. Which brings us to, the reward system.
Yes, the recognition aspect. So as a formal thank you, and it mentions this is subject to Minister Owen Incube's approval.
Right, pending his okay.
These two individuals are set to receive two brand new cars. 2025 Toyota Fortuner 4x4s.
And not just any cars, brand spanking new, fully paid for and ready for collection.
That's a very, very tangible form of recognition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Far beyond just a pat on the back.
It certainly is. And the source explicitly frames this reward as a, quote, reminder to every other young Zimbabwean that through hard work, loyalty, and patriotism, the appropriate recognition will ultimately be given.
So it's a really direct message. It's basically saying, look, this is what you can aspire to if you demonstrate loyalty and effectively advocate for the party online.
It links digital work directly to significant personal gain.
Absolutely. It's not subtle. It's designed to cultivate that loyalty and service. The source also includes several hashtags, which give a bit more context too.
Right, like hashtag ZANU PF, hashtag Midlands News Desk, hashtag IdWorks.
And hashtag Idiuchi with crocodile and lion emojis, hashtag Vision 2030, and hashtag Nikanavakwana Venavayo, which means the country is built by its owners. They all reinforce the core message.
So let's pull back a bit. What does all this mean for you, the listener, trying to understand political communication today?
Well, I think this deep dive gives a pretty unfiltered look at how one political party is explicitly stating its strategy.
Yeah, how it sees youth and digital media fitting into its plans for national development and, let's be frank, image management. It's quite a specific model laid bare.
And it raises a broader question, doesn't it? In this age of incredibly fast digital information flow, how are political groups worldwide trying to manage or even incentivize the narratives being created online.
What does this example tell us about the evolving relationship between media, particularly digital media, political loyalty, and the kinds of recognition or rewards offered?
Exactly. It's a dynamic that's constantly shifting and definitely something worth keeping an eye on globally.